Every good story must come to an end, and sadly, Tokyo Ghost is not exempt from this rule. But this finale was explosive, and I mean it. It was insane. So get ready, get prepared, and let me blow your mind. If you're lost in the sauce, go check out my previous videos because we pick up exactly where we left off in the last one. Led Dent is back on the juice, and guess who decides to infiltrate his mind? Davy. For those of you who do not know, Davy is basically the Joker, and he is here to cause trauma. Sadly, the trauma had already begun because the warlord of Tokyo was injured and she was in critical condition. There is no way she was going to survive. So she used her time wisely and was saying goodbye to her family, her child, her husband, her people. Her husband didn't want to let her go, but she knew this was the right thing to do. You have to protect our people. And funny enough, she wanted to talk to Debbie. Everyone was confused by this because they were sure as shit believing that Debbie was in on the attack. She planned all of this, which was wrong. We know full well Debbie was under attack. Gifting Debbie with her blade, she revealed that she was part of the experiment, the same experiment that affected Davy trauma. Both of them were alike. He had the ability of tech. She had the ability of tech and nature. She could generate the EMP herself. She was the virus that was stopping technology from entering this place. But sadly, their ability was about to go because she passed away soon after. Debbie was about to leave, but her husband stopped her. Hand me the blade. Confused, Debbie asked why, and he revealed he doesn't believe she was a part of this attack. His wife was clearly suffering from blood loss. You do not deserve the blade. Debbie was enraged, but before she could make her opinion known, she realizes they are under attack. Led was here, or should I say Davy was here. Now don't get me wrong, Led was fighting. He really wanted to gain control of his body, but the combination of the drugs and Davy's hacking pushed his consciousness below. He was a puppet now, and he did mayhem. People tried to stop him. Matter of fact, they stabbed him, they plugged him full of holes with arrows and swords, but it didn't stop him. He was a monster. The only person that actually caused him to stop moving was Debbie. She stood in his path. Led, what the fuck are you doing? Expecting a response, she heard a voice she was scared to hear. Oh my god, Davy, he laughed. Of course. Bingo. Now move out the way before I crush you. She knew if she moved, she'll be letting him win. She wanted evidence that Led was still in there, so she decided to stay. And her crazy experiment was proven successful because he couldn't crush her. Led was fighting. You could do anything, kill anybody, but do not hurt Debbie. And so Davy Trauma did just that. He killed everyone and anyone he could find. He was even broadcasting this feed live for everyone to watch in Los Angeles. It was absolutely freaking ridiculous. Debbie must have realized this was a failed mission because Led, when on a rampage, is unstoppable, and she couldn't get close enough to stop him. So she did what she could do. She tried to take Takara to safety, and everyone was helping her, maybe finally realizing that she wasn't a monster, but Led, he was on a warpath. She could hear the screams of all the innocents he was downing at this point. She knew all of this was her fault. She shouldn't have brought this monster into their home. But at the end of the day, he wasn't even Led. He was under control. This trauma prick had a bag of grenades and he let them loose, setting everything ablaze. But he wasn't done. And surprisingly, neither were the people of Tokyo because they decided to fight back, even chasing him down on horseback. This was a gathering of ninjas, samurais. Of course they could fight back. Matter of fact, they did fight back. But Led was juiced up. He couldn't feel anything. Even with the sword in his chest, he just flicked his neck and sent the guy flying. The new warlord must have realized his horse was screwed because he jumped, taking a spike and impaling it into the chest of Led. He used the hook to tie him down, like, bruh, get over here, you die now, pulling him off of his bike. This was a fight between a man and a monster, and I'm pretty sure you know how this was going to go. Because Led, or rather should I say Davy, said it. You will die, old man. Are you sure you want to do this? The warlord replied, you will not have this land. And then the fight began. It was fierce. Led had the gun, so he had to take the gun away. Using feet, hand, they fought like men. With his son watching from the shadows, he watched as his father got torn apart by Lead. Lead was a beast. Even Debbie was like, cover your eyes. This will traumatize you. But the deed was already done. Now, they only had to survive. He went and he showed her into the bunker, and he went underneath, but she didn't follow. She had a mission to complete. This place cannot be lost. I have to stop him. I'll come for you. And she locked him in. She had a monster to hunt. And Led, he had finished his own hunting. Everyone, or rather, every threat was out of the way. He was about to run a bomb and destroy this place itself. He was that lethal. Man, Davy Trauma is a problem. Debbie must have known this as well because she was going for the kill. Fuck love. You don't get to take this haven away. But he was still a monster. He grabbed the blade and said, you are lucky Dent likes you. I will keep you for him. Like a rag doll, he tossed her over his shoulder, got on his bike, and started to leave. This place was about to go up in smoke, but Debbie wasn't going down like this. She saw the chain dangling from his back and decided to pin it on his wheel, causing it to choke him out. She got off the bike, but there was no time to even check if he was okay. She had a bomb to stop. Running as fast as she could, she tried to warn everyone, get the hell out of this place, but they couldn't listen. They didn't even understand. This was no regular bomb. This bomb decimates. So she tried to stop it. The bomb was on a timer. She knew she couldn't stop it. Her only option was in the katana, a gift from the warlord, the syringe that would give her the same abilities as the warlord herself. With the hour of death fast approaching, the high started to wear off. Dent started to come to. Debbie's in danger. Debbie was in danger. She was about to stick herself with an experimental serum that would make her a poison to an addict like you. If you're in her vicinity, Tech dies. But he didn't give a damn. That's Debbie. She's the love of my life. She cannot die. He ran into the fires, but the time had finally come. The explosion went off, and like I said, this bomb eradicates. It eradicated everything in the immediate vicinity except him. He was all that was left in a once vibrant city filled with green, filled with life. Now it was only death, and him in the rubble, losing the love of his life. Everyone cheered his name. Everyone congratulated him for providing them with the new land, but he knew he was a failure.